Hey gang, Jeff Stone here with day 74 of the year 2015 at magicreviewed.com. Take number 5, I think. I don't know. I've lost count. Anyway, ketchup, Heinz ketchup, as in H-E-I-N' ketchup by Karl Hein. I just recently saw his Murphy's lecture. It was filmed, it's a pretty old one, a few months back, but I just watched it recently again. And they were talking about all the names of his products, how they have the Hein name in there. And he said that he's going to name his next release, I've run out of funny things to do with my last name, which is a bummer because I had that exact same idea like a year ago with all my stone, gemstones, Stone Cold Magic, Stone Friction Fire. I've got, Stepping Stone is one that I've been thinking about doing. Like a beginner's thing. Anyway, I have lots of different stone ideas, stone tablets, Stonehenge. Anyway, I've had several ideas, and a lot of my tricks have those kinds of names, and I was running out of stone jokes, and so I was going to do the same thing and have one of my DVDs called I've Run Out of Stone Jokes for my name. Anyway, I thought that was funny. Great minds think alike, apparently. Anywho, so Heinz ketchup, what this is, it's a 5-phase copper, silver, brass routine using the copper, silver, brass gimmick. Which is not a cheap product, and it does not come with this. But they're very clear in the ad copy, in like bold letters and capitals, does not come with the coins, with any coins or gimmicks. All you're getting is the DVD with his presentation on it. So you push the play all button on the DVD, and you get a quick intro by Karl Hein. You get a full performance of the entire 5-phase routine. You get the teaching segment of that 5-phase routine. Then you get a bonus trick performance, which is a 1-coin routine with a bonus production, or an ending with the production of a big sucker jumbo coin from behind somebody's ear. And then they have the teaching of that, and then you have the credits, which are relatively detailed. All that combined is only 20 minutes. So I'll give you a sense of what you're getting for $30. So this is a weird one to review because normally in a review I say to you, go watch the ad trailer, and assuming that the product's a good quality product and everything, and that the ad trailer is legitimate, I'll say go watch the ad trailer and watch the effect, and if you like the effect, then I'll recommend that you buy it or whatever if you like the effect. Well, there is no performance of this effect anywhere that I could find, and so you don't really know what the effect is. Now, there's a couple, like for example, there's a moment in the routine where he has a silver dollar and he's holding it in his fingertips like this, and his hand is empty, and he shows both sides of the silver dollar, and then he goes from here, silver, back here, silver, and then bam, right here, and now it's the Chinese coin with the hole in it. Very visual change, and it's made possible by the copper, silver, brass gimmick. But they show that. The reason I'm bringing that up is because in the ad trailer they show that clip like 2 or 3 times, and then they show audience reaction footage, and then they show the final kicker where a coin ends up on the shoulder of the spectator and in the little elbow, crotch, or whatever you call that part of your body, and they show that final ending, 2 or 3 shots of that, and then there's text on the screen talking about how awesome the routine is. But that's it. You don't really get to see the routine. So I can't really tell you, go watch the routine, and if you like it, buy it. So I don't know what to tell you. I will tell you this, and this is one of the rare times where I'm going to have to throw my personal opinion in there about the effect to maybe help you make a decision. But again, my opinion may vary from yours as far as what's a good effect or not. I'll tell you this, I've never owned a copper, silver, brass gimmick. I know what it is and what it does, but I've never played with one. I've never even handled one. I'm just not a big coin guy. But after seeing this routine, I've considered that I might want to buy a copper, silver, brass gimmick to play around with. I wouldn't do the whole 5-phase routine that he taught. I would do pieces of it, maybe. I don't even know this for sure. I'm just thinking out loud of. But after that, I thought, man, there's a lot of potential with this gimmick, and it's relatively sleightless. I mean, I cannot classic palm a coin, and it's actually because my hand's too big. The muscles where you classic palm it are too far apart to hold a coin, and by the time I get a coin that's big enough to fit in there, it's too heavy and I just can't hold it. Now, I'm sure with some training and practice I could probably get it, but I've just never gotten into it. But I can finger palm, and there's most of the routine, at least the parts I would be interested in doing, require finger palming. So, a rare moment at magicreview.com where I'm giving you my opinion of the effect and what I think of the effect. But still, even then, it's not really going to have a whole lot of bearing on the final rating. I'm just trying to tell you so you get a sense of what the effect might be so that you can make an educated decision as to whether or not you think you want to do the routine. So I'll give you a quick walkthrough of what the routine is if you would see it. It's a quick production of a silver coin, and then another silver coin, and then the silver coin changes into that Chinese coin like I showed you. So now he's produced 2 coins. Then he produces a third silver coin, and then quickly it changes into, he calls it an Egyptian coin, but it's just like a brass-colored or a copper-colored coin. So now you've got 3 different coins from 3 different countries, and then he does a 3-fly with those 3 coins. You know, they start over here, and one at a time they travel over here. Pretty standard handling, pretty standard gags, with the last gag of it going over manually, and oh, did you see it happen? Oh, now it's over here. That's pretty, I mean, it's the same pattern as everybody else uses. So that's next. And then there's, gets a little muddy after that. There's some transpositions where it goes from this hand to that hand and this kind of stuff. And then it ends up with a thing where you're going to claim to make it, the spectator has one of the coins in his hand, and you're going to make these 2 coins switch or whatever. That's where you end with the one on the shoulder, one on the arm, and one on the hand, and then you're empty and clean. So, and then between that, there's things like, okay, the 2, you know, the whatever, the brass and the copper over here, and the silver's here, and then you close them in your hand, and now the 2 are over here, and the silver's over here, that kind of stuff. So all that together, that's the basic routine, and obviously my spoken word here is nowhere near as you know, good as seeing it live. So you'd have to see it live, and unfortunately, I think unfortunately for him, he didn't do a live run through it. He should have at least done a run through of at least one of the phases in the ad trailer, because you, the buyer, potential buyer, don't know what you're buying other than what I just described, which probably didn't sound that great. Trust me, it is a little better than what I said, than the way I said it, but still, it's hard for you to know. So I can tell you a few things about the routine that may also help you. No tables, no pockets, cards, or purses required. And now what he means by that is, I mean, you obviously need a pocket to carry the coins for when you're going to, you know, while you're walking around, or a purse to put the coins in or whatever. But what he's saying is, once you're going to get into the routine, there's no ditching stuff in your pockets, and there's no, you don't use a purse to hide stuff or any of that stuff. You walk up to the table, and you have the coins ready to go in your hands, and you just go, you know, you could do it naked, right? Walk up to the table naked and do your coin routine, right? So I have a little teeny bit of an issue with that claim. Not that I think it was dishonest, but I think it was just not, I think it's just not quite as accurate. But I don't think it was intentional. But here's what I mean by that. You can't walk up to the table and do a 5-phase routine before you've met anybody and shaken their hands or any of that stuff. So if you're going to do that routine, it can't be an opener. All right. And he even says that in the video, that it can't be an opener, for the very reason that people might want to shake your hand. You can't, because you're loaded up in both hands. So that means it has to be somewhere in the middle of your set, is one option. I'll talk about the second option in a minute. If it's in the middle of your set, well, then, yeah, you've got to go to your pockets and get the coins loaded, or you got to pull them out of a purse or whatever. But the problem is you can't pull them out of a purse, because the whole starting phase is the production of the coins. So you have to secretly get the coins in the ready right there at the table. Now, in that case, we are talking about pockets, and that makes this no pockets thing not quite accurate. But what he says is that he doesn't do it as an opener, and he doesn't do it in a set. He does it as like an encore when he comes back, and he'll come back to the table and do it. So, and if you're going to do it in that case, then yeah, it does hold true that there's no pockets and anything, because before you walk up to the table, you load up, then you walk up to the table and go, hey, remember me, guys? Here's one more thing. Bam, 5-phase coin routine, or however many of those phases you want to do. So the reason I still have a little bit of an issue with that is that's not, you don't always get to do that. So I'll leave it up to you to decide if that's a good thing or a bad thing. So as far as the teaching of the trick and everything, the teaching was very good. I liked the way he did it. The whole time it was an over-the-shoulder camera, and it was just a close-up shot on his hands. You know, that's it from the back view. And then it was like him narrating what was going on. And they slowed down the camera at certain spots, and they would, when he was talking about, you know, this coin or that coin, that little coin would kind of light up a little bit on the screen so you could see what he was talking about. It was a very, very smart way to teach that, and it was very, very good. And so if you have a copper, silver, brass, and you do happen to want to learn this routine, then you'll be able to learn it very well from the way they taught it. But the weird thing was, during the explanation, he talked about the moment where you load the coin under the spectator's watch. And I'm thinking back in the routine, I'm like, I don't remember him loading. I don't remember that. So I went and watched the routine again, and there's no moment where he loads the coin under the spectator's watch. So I'm not sure what he was talking about there, and why he brought that up. Then to make it even weirder, in the final credits, he gives thanks to Apollo Robbins for giving him pointers on how to load the stuff under the spectator's watch. I have no idea what he's talking about there. It was really weird. He also does assume a little bit of coin knowledge. For example, the spider vanish, he doesn't teach it. He just says that you do it. In the bonus routine, the muscle pass is used. He doesn't teach it. He just does it. So there's a few things like that you're going to have to go in with this with a little bit of knowledge. Who I think this video is probably for is somebody who has a copper, silver, brass set sitting in their junk drawer, and they're not using it. Their junk magic drawer. We all have one of those, right? And they're not using it. I think that's who this video is for. This is to give you a routine to do that with. So if you like the routine as I explained it, which I'm not sure you would, frankly, or you can kind of get a vision of what it is and you think, yeah, I might do that, and you already have the copper, silver, brass especially, because otherwise you're going to have to drop another 50 to 75, 80 bucks or whatever on it, on a set of coins. And see, that's the thing that's a little bit frustrating with this. If you don't own the set and you don't know what the trick is you're getting, you kind of have to spend the money somewhere. Like you have to spend the 30 bucks here just to find out if you even like the trick, right? And then on top of that, if you do like the trick, you got to buy the coins. So that was a little bit of a problem for me. If you would have just put it in the ad trailer, a performance, then that'd be fine. Anyway, method, it's good. It's stood the test of time. It's the copper, silver, brass gimmick with some basic sleight of hand. Ad copy, other than the few little things I pointed out, it's fine. Product quality, again, excellent. It is short. And to me, this is the kind of thing that I would have more expected to be on a DVD with multiple effects, or in a book with multiple effects. But it's always good to get a pro's. You know, Karl Hein is a working pro, full-time working pro, and to have his routine taught, there is some value there. But 30 bucks plus the price of the coins, stuff starts to add up, and there's not enough information there, frankly, in my opinion, for you to be able to make the decision. So I'm leaving it at that. Because of all the lack of clarity and everything, I had a hard time giving this a super great rating. I gave it 3.5 stars, still stone status of gem. I do think the routine is good. For coin workers, you'll probably like it. But I don't know if you as a coin worker already do something very similar. And so you might buy this thinking, oh, I'll try it out to see if I like his routine. And it might be very similar to your own already. Or you might end up thinking, well, I like my routine better. So you're taking a little bit of a gamble when you buy this one. That's all I can tell you guys. And the reason you're taking the gamble is because there's no place to see the effect. So I've rambled on 3 times longer than I thought I would for this video. I thought it was going to be very short, but it's already almost 15 minutes. So I'll shut up now. Time for you to like the video, subscribe to my channel, share it out to all your social peeps. Yes, peeps. And listen to the random iTunes song of the moment, which today happens to be, Garth Brooks. Unanswered Prayers. Yeah. Classic Brooks. So, I think Garth Brooks actually came up just the other day. It was the Thunder Rolls. Now, there's a little phrase in this song that bugs me. If you're familiar with the song is about how, you know, he prayed that he would, you know, fall in love with this girl and they'd get married and that'd be the girl for him for the rest of his life. But he ends up not getting her. He gets married to somebody else. Years later, he runs into the other girl and realizes that she's not quite who he thought she was, and he's happy that he didn't marry her. And he's, you know, I thank God for unanswered prayers, for him not getting the answer he wanted. So there's a line in that song where he says something like, some of God's greatest gifts are unanswered prayers, which I like that line. But then he says, some of God's greatest gifts are all too often, some of God's greatest gifts are unanswered prayers. I don't know what that all too often means there. And that phrase kind of bugs me because of the nature of the song is that he's grateful for the unanswered prayers. But then he suddenly says it happens too often. Anyway, I know I'm like a word Nazi. Sorry, guys. So I really will shut up. Tune in tomorrow as Karl Hein week continues. Day 75, we're looking at Heinous Collection, Volume 1, or Highness Collection, I'm not sure how to say it. False, Shuffles, and Cuts. We'll see you tomorrow, folks. Thanks for watching. Peace out.